Hey everyone, you're watching In the Boat with Ben TV. I'm Ben,
And I'm Rachel.
and today we're talking about helping your kids sleep through the night. So, one of the first things we can consider is diet. What are our children eating? Are they eating a lot of junk food, or are they eating a lot of food that has sugar in it? Um, the kinds of foods they eat can contribute to whether or not they sleep well at night, especially if they're eating foods that don't agree with their body type and the way that their body naturally processes food. And so, for that reason, in our family, we've gone to a very natural diet, but we're also seeking to better understand individual body types and learn a little bit more about how each of our bodies individually process certain types of food. It's amazing, but if there's an allergy, even a slight allergy, that can cause enough discomfort to make sleeping through the night difficult. And so it's good to discover those things when we can.
So, the second thing we can consider is how much play our child is getting. If our children are in school, they're not getting a whole lot of outdoor play and they're basically stuck in a classroom all day learning things. And so, one of the things that is really good for kids, they're wired to play. And so, giving them some time to do that play is really beneficial for them, as long as it's not right before bedtime. So, one of the things that we try to do is in the time when we're cooking dinner, we send all of the kids outside. Granted, we have six boys, so they have a lot of energy, and outdoors is just the great place for them to be. But it's really beneficial to get kids out and get them playing.
Play is the way our children exercise. You know, adults go for runs and they go on bike rides and they do Pilates and yoga. And our kids can certainly do some of those as they get a little bit older if they're interested. But the way that they get the best exercise when they're young, especially, is by playing. So letting them have that time is really important, and it's a key part of helping them have success sleeping through the night. We've talked about screens before a few episodes back, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up again. When our children have screen time too soon before bed, or if they have excessive screen time throughout the day, it makes it really difficult for their brains to shut off. A screen is very stimulating, and so it gets their brains kind of overworked if they spend too much time with it. Also, if they're doing it right before bed, it's actually interrupting the natural chemicals in the natural chemical systems in their brain. The blue light that's emitted from the screens is unnatural and is closer to daylight, and so it sends signals to the body that the melatonin that actually causes sleepiness needs to be blocked, because it's kind of the brain is tricked into thinking that there's still daytime to deal with. And so limiting the screens overall time, and then also taking away the screens too close before bed, is a really great idea and something that's going to help our children sleep through the night.
Another thing we can do is establish a consistent nighttime routine. Kids thrive on routines. And so establishing something, even if it's just bath, read, go to bed, those kinds of things are really valuable to kids and help their bodies get used to going to sleep at the same time.
Something that you can make a part of the routine is establishing a really calming environment. One of the ways that we do that is by putting on some music or some background noise, some white noise that's calming. We also turn the fan on so there's some air circulation, and we diffuse essential oils so that there's kind of a nice scent in the air. They've just taken a bath, and so they're a little bit more relaxed. And so we create this calming environment that helps them just to kind of settle down a little bit more. We also do this during a time when we're reading books. And so not only is the environment calm, but the activity that we're doing is also very calming.
Depending on our child's developmental age, they may need more sleep than at other times in their lives. And so, one of the things that we can do to help them sleep through the night, which seems kind of weird, but is to help them nap also. Because when we're overly tired, we have a really hard time even going to sleep at night, and much less staying asleep all the way through the night. And so, pretty much from the ages of newborn to about 4, you're probably going to want to have some nap time or at least some quiet time. We do a little bit of quiet time, and actually, our older boys engage in quiet time as well. And it's just a time when younger ones are sleeping and older ones are doing some kind of activity that's really quiet, such as reading or doing art or something else like that. It's really good for them to have that quiet time and be able to either create or just kind of be.
Yeah. Another thing you may not be considering is their physical comfort. Some children are more sensitive than others to tactile things, to certain types of fabrics and that kind of thing. Or there may be some pain. Maybe they experience some kind of injury, uh, a cut or a burn, or have an allergy to something. So it's important to ask your child, are you uncomfortable when you're trying to sleep? Is there something that bothers you that makes it difficult for you to fall asleep? You might discover that there's some discomfort, some physical discomfort they're experiencing that you can actually remedy to make it easier for them.
And the last thing that we can do is check in with their emotional health. If we think about the way that we sleep, we don't sleep quite as well when we're worried about something, or if we feel unsafe, or if there's something pressing that is just bothering us. And so, one of the things that we can do to help our kids ease into sleep is to check on their emotional health. And one of the ways that we do this is we take one of our boys once a week and do a little snuggle time with him. And that allows us a time to play, but it also allows us a time to talk, because sometimes kids talk better when they're actually playing, say, a board game or doing a puzzle or something like that. And we also try to ask any of the boys if there's anything that's bothering them or anything that they're anxious about. This helps us keep tabs on their emotional health and also sends up a flag to us if there's going to be some problems with bedtime.
So again, unless your child is in a stage of their development where they just can't sleep through the night yet, or if there's legitimately something else going on, these things will help you provide a better baseline for your child, so that they can experience better rest. And then from there, if you're still experiencing difficulties, then okay, at least we've got all these other things covered, and we can start to address, what else might be going on. If you want more content like this, go to intheboatwithben.com, where we host a weekly podcast that goes a little bit deeper into these topics. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter, and we will send you Pursuing Your Passion Without Guilt, a 5-step checklist to add a weekly guilt-free work block as soon as it's available. For more videos like this, subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.
Each person contributes to the story. So it looks a little something like this. Once upon a time, there was a boy who had a dog, and one day he was out walking his dog and
All of a sudden, as they were crossing the bridge, the dog jumped into the water, and the boy knew the dog couldn't swim, so he dove in after them. And they got sucked down into a magic portal that led them to
a dragon land. And there were so many dragons